fin de mes. Pampa y la vía sin tener un plan. Menos hojas en el calendario, el tiempo no vuelve más. Oh, fuma que todo esté gris. Oh, fuma que todo, como siempre y hasta el fin. Oh, fuma que todo, y mi banco a morir.
El 22 de septiembre de 1994, NBC emitía el piloto, el primer capítulo de Friends, esta sitcom que hemos visto hasta el hartazgo y que podemos seguir viendo un montón de veces más. ¿Por qué? Porque podemos conectar con estos 6 amigos que están en su juventud, convirtiéndose en adultos, disfrutando del trabajo, sufriendo también por cuestiones amorosas y, por qué no, divirtiéndose al máximo.
When we first came up with it, we just thought, oh, here's another TV show, and had no idea it would turn into what it turned into. And it was just the best 10 years. We had such a fantastic time making it, and, you know, we have an expression here, lightning in a bottle, where you manage to find just the right combination of actors and writing, and it all comes together, and that so rarely happens. And so I just feel insanely lucky to have had that opportunity.
So as soon as we began working on it, it seemed so, I don't know, easy for us to come to a mutual understanding of what the show was about and where we wanted it to be, because it turned out that all of us had lived in New York at the same time, even though we didn't know Kevin, Marta, and David, but we all knew lots of similar places, and we all had similar emotional attachments to the West Village and the East Village, which is where we centered our story for the most part. The apartment itself, I sat down to draw that and had some ideas, and I said, well, I'm just going to base a lot of it on the apartment we lived in New York City back in 1977 till 1980.
You know, Friends was a lightning in a bottle experience, and we didn't realize, and I'm sure you talked to David, who one of the creatives. David's a good friend and one of the best writers and storytellers I've worked with. And it was just they happened to catch, lightning in a bottle. All of us were in our 20s, and we all had stories, and we were just telling funny things that happened to us, and then, the next thing you know, they're happening to Chandler.
Well, I'm really sick of your smoking, so I brought something that is going to help you quit.
Oh. Nope, that patch is no good.
The first time I walked into the studio, we were working on episode number maybe 3-4, and the show hadn't been on air yet. And I remember Jennifer kind of cried in my lap, almost because, saying, never happened to me. Something big happened.
Yeah.
But nobody could imagine it would have been this big,
The fun thing about Friends is that all the stuff, it was all like fresh snow. We were doing jokes just because of the time, and these kind of meta jokes that now are cliche jokes that you can't do. And it's funny because I watch the shows that my kids watch on Disney sometimes, and you see those jokes are kind of being recycled in that format. But I've seen jokes I've done on other shows, and it kind of pisses me off a little bit. But it's like we were, it's like we're writing your show of shows back then. We're just writing whatever new material the same way that Laverne and Shirley and Happy Days wrote a new format. We were writing a new format.
I knew with 6 characters was going to be need lots of things and places for people to go. So I felt it would be fun to not just have a hallway that goes off to bedrooms. It would be fun if all the bedrooms, both bedrooms, opened directly into the main room, and the bathroom opened into the main room. So everybody had to walk back and forth across the room to go from the bedroom to the bathroom, or from one bedroom to the other bedroom, or from the bedroom all the way across the set to the front door. And that's a classic kind of design for theatrical farce.
Hey.
The stairway and the hallway between the two apartments, I presented the model And we looked at that, and they said, why do we need that? We're just going to have them come through the door. And Joe and I said, well, we believe that it would be a good idea for the boys to live across the hall, and we want to have this stairway and this extra space for that you can write scenes in and play in. And they said, well, okay, if we can afford it for the pilot. Of course, the first episode after the pilot, we had to design in the boys' apartment at that point.
It was great coming to work. It was great. And it was the end of my career, so it was just fun to go out that way. And plus, I could have any camera, any lens, you know what, of course, what the kids were making, $1 million a show. And so anything I wanted, I could have. It was great. It was very unlike working on other stuff that, had a limited budget. You had an unlimited budget there, so it was just terrific. When you're number one, all the studio's executives, they would come down and hang out in the perk, when we weren't shooting. I mean, the heads of the Warner Brothers and, they'd be just hanging out just because it was fun.
No, don't. Stop cleansing my aura. Don't just leave my aura alone, okay?
Más allá de los gustos, más allá de si efectivamente es o no es la mejor serie de todos los tiempos, la mejor comedia de todos los tiempos, algo que logró fue marcar una forma de construir dinámicas entre los personajes y dinámicas de situaciones que nos pasan a todos en todos los días de la vida y que se han replicado en un montón de ficciones, sobre todo de las más nuevas.
We were working really, really hard, and we thought this is really, really easy because David and Marta created a situation and characters and the cast that were very, very easy to write stories for, that were very easy, and not to say it was easy to write stories for. The hours were disastrous. We worked sometimes 26 hours a day. Literally, I was saying one time I drove home from work and I thought I saw myself driving back in the next day. It was crazy. We would, break the space-time continuum when we were driving, working so hard. And David specifically was a perfectionist. And so we wrote really hard. We wrote really long, and every single joke had to be better than the last joke. And a lot of my favorite jokes happened at like 3 a.m. When you're just, your brain is just coming up with shit. It's like opening doors you didn't know. It's like, what about this one? Like, yeah, that'd be funny.
There's nothing in my life, no higher benchmark of acting, producer, writing, joy combination than this show. Friends, it's not just the success, the physical success of it. It's truly, and I've said this everywhere, if every set, if every production company could have that beautiful interaction that they had on that show, everyone would feel nothing but joy and success. It was incredible. It was everything from the way that Jimmy Burrows brought the cast together and took them to Vegas and got them bonded, to the way that they spoke to each other so respectfully, because it was up to everyone not to be the shining star, but to really make this show that it could be. It was always for heart. It was never about ego on that show.
Freak out.
Why'd you freak out?
Because it's breast milk. It's gross.
My breast milk is gross? This should be fun.
That the show had a family of people who worked on it and who starred in it, who always felt like a family. And we were a chosen family, but we all respected each other and cared very much about each other. It was very much a family. Sometimes we would have fuss at each other. Sometimes we would disagree, but in the end, all the way to the final episode, there was an enormous amount of caring and an enormous amount of affection between all of us who worked on the show. And
I think they've tried to copy it. A lot of times they tried. There was a show called Coupling, which came and went very quickly. People just assumed all you had to do was put 6 actors in a room and you would have that show. And like David said, it was lightning in a bottle. Getting those exact 6 people together at that time in the world can never happen again.
Yeah.
But thank goodness we all have that to look back on, every single day.
It was really a lot of energy on that show, and the audience screamed like no other audience I've ever heard before.
Yeah.
And the stages are soundproof, but when the show was going, the audience was excited and screaming. You could hear them through the stage walls, 3 stages down on the Warner Brothers lot. And for you to be able to hear an audience through those stage walls 3 stages away, that means that they are about as loud as a jet engine.
We're engaged!
Con 25 millones de espectadores por capítulo en la primera temporada, Friends consolidó un gran comienzo que se terminó reflejando en las 9 temporadas que siguieron después. Ni hablar en lo que fueron las reemisiones que tuvo a lo largo de todos los años, y ni hablar todavía con la llegada de internet, con la llegada de plataformas por ejemplo como Netflix, que permitieron que gente que no la había visto en su primera oportunidad la pudiera disfrutar, e incluso hubo millennials que se animaron a cuestionar el humor de algunos chistes.
Calendario, el tiempo no vuelve más.